What do you think I'm drinking? What do you think's in there? Cinnamon sticks. I don't chew on gum. That's a cinnamon stick. I chew on this instead of gum. Is something going to happen to me? I don't know, but I'll read up about it. Somebody will tell me the truth of what they know. But for now, I'm going to chew on it and look it up myself so I won't be said as saying, oh, you're stupid. What should I actually be talking about right now? Let me explain to you. If this movie goes through because of the music, okay? Wow. That's crazy. You look at. I went fishing. And I dropped the fishing spoon onto the floor. The cow jumped over the moon. So did the fork and the spoon jump over the moon. I dropped my fishing spool, which is usually silver and gold or brass or brownish orange. The spoon, the moon. Harpoon, harp. H-A-R is the rabbit. I can't tell you why. H-A-R is the rabbit, okay? Hare in French. Hare is also for A and R, or A-R and E, or A-R and S, because when you say certain words, not like Mars, A-R and S, okay? But we do have words, you have to look them up, I can't do all the work, okay? That if, when you say H-A-R, it actually be H-A-R-E, or say hours. Hours mean mine. In French, it's N-O-S. Backwards, it's S-O-N for sun. So that means the sun or the person is ours. So I went fishing and caught a spoon. I saw a duck and a loon. They put the loon on the $1 coin they now call the loonie. I caught a branch, or I can go to the bank, which is part of the branch in the lake. So far, the cow jumped over the moon, black and white. The spoon was silver and gold, like a black and white, just the same opposition between silver and gold. Okay? My son threw his fishing line in, and he caught 2 hooks. Have you ever seen 2 hooks? My son caught 2 hooks. He threw it in with a 3-thonged hook. He caught 2 hooks with fishing line on it. We went to another lake. We caught more fishing line, but there was no hook at the end. Only a sinker. No way to catch anything like man's life. Hook, line, and sinker, but no hook. But I don't have a fishing license. And the fisher and the policeman came, and I have no fishing license. I'm casting in and reeling in and casting in and reeling in. And the policeman says to me, do you have a fishing license? Hold on, let me lower the music. I think I need a license to play this music. And I looked at the fisherman. He pulled in my line. I says, no fish. He says, you can't ask me to have a fishing license if I have no fish. He says, no, you need a fishing license to fish. I says, but I'm not fishing. And then I pulled in my fishing line, and there was a spoon at the end. Well, it wasn't this kind of spoon that was on it, with no hook. I was just practicing. I says, is there a law to practice casting in a line? And if there's no line, how can I cast it in? So I put a little spoon on the end for the weight so I can get it out. He says, should I get a ticket for that? And I sort of looked at him like this. Get a ticket for practicing casting? Well, hold on a second. I looked at my friend, are we casting? He says, yeah, we are casting. Well, what are we casting? We're casting a movie. I go, oh, okay, we're not in the lake. We're casting a movie. Could have caught the fish in the pond. In the round of the silent waters brings death, or arresting fish before death as the waters move. The fish follows the flow of the cavern of which we call the falls, like Niagara Falls, the Great Lakes. Thinking about the Great Lakes connecting to Kansas City, the angle from the Great Lakes and the triangular shape all the way out towards Buffalo, which is Niagara Falls, something is in the sky. It's empty. And it goes all the way to Kansas City. And I say that, okay, and I say that because of this. Highway 70 and Highway 35, 70, 35, because east, west, and north, south are at different distance, or it's on an angle like this, because highways run on this angle. The 35 is half of 70. 70 and 35 equals 105, and that's the handprint of God, is it not? Okay. And then we get all those hurricanes or whatever you want to call it, tornadoes coming out of there because the area of matrix is somewhere above the Great Lakes. I mean, otherwise, why would they be great? We can call a whole bunch of other lakes great. Do we have to call those the 3 Great Lakes? Bringing them into Detroit, Detroit Red Wings, Detroit Tigers. Give me a couple more. Come on, come on. Messer, give me something big about Detroit besides the car manufacturers and Michelin. Michelin, Michel the Angel, Mitchell the Angel, Michael the Angel, the car manufacturers in Detroit. Another clue. When you leave a void and you void out and you make emptiness in an area, right away when it opens to be almost alone and singular with only a few tasks left, I mean, the only thing connected right now to Detroit are a couple of borders and its name. Otherwise, we have to skip over it. We skip over Detroit. There's nothing going on over there. But wait, just in the name Detroit Tiger, Detroit Red Wings, Detroit Lions, etc., there's something going on. And I know. It's pretty easy. The Detroit Lions uniform, being blue and silvery gray, are telling us a whole lot more of a story than anything else. They're right down the street, if you really take a look, from Cleveland, who wear the orange undivided sun on their helmet. That is the only a team in the league that doesn't have an insignia on their helmet. Or regardless, they do have an insignia on their helmet. And they're actually representing, I mean, if I can remember, is there a line in it? Is it part of Saturn? Or are they representing the sun? Every sports team or game holds a reason that is happening something else, somewhere else inside the element, or weights and measures schedules and what do you call that? Equations. When I went to this what they call Wilson Falls, now they call it Parc du Nord, de la Camping du Nord. We're no longer allowed to go for free any time of the day, and you can't have any beer bottles. And you know how about that? Beer, when you look at it, is almost like a trap. But is it barely a trap? Is it an earful to hear within the beer? Because the beer bottle, they only show the bottle, they don't show the beer, like they don't show the brown beer. The number to the beer is number 19. But when you say beer, it looks like it's a bear. BEER, electronic resident from the Venus world, inside 5 and 2, which is inside of Jupiter, and 23, which connects to Venus and Earth. The angel resident to the B world, B and R. E and E, electronic, let's set up 5 and 5 is 10. Is it beer barely, or the beer belly, or the beer was barely inside the word of A-R-E-A-E-A-R to hear is Arley, or Harley, or HD, Harley Davidson 48, 8 by 4, 32, 8 plus 4 is 12 equals 44, the space and time we're in right now. Added up, 1 to 43, it equals to 44. 43 times ABC equals 5,781. The Hebrew New Year this year is 5,775. The difference is 6. Actually, the difference is 53, and I'm going to explain it to you right now. 1, 2, 3, ABC, Michael Jackson, okay? What we're going to do, okay, Michael Jackson times 47 equals to 5781. Now, I don't remember the actual number I actually just worked with, and I may have screwed this up, but I'm bringing this up for another reason, okay? Because this is the total cycle, but the last cycle, okay, the last cycle, let me think. What happens in the last cycle, we end at this cycle, but bringing the end to the beginning where you tie up the links. Imagine you went all the way around in a circle and 41 connected to 43. You would need a link, something extra that would move you one extra spot, halfway to this way and halfway to this way, to untangle and lengthen out the ruler like an inchworm. And if you want, we can just spin it around like a clock and end up twice the difference onto the other side. Why twice the difference? Well, the distance to who you are to the complete right, to the pointage, where you'd spin it around and be on the complete left. You would be the complete extremity. But you add on a hook that makes it go around, or in a figure 8, whichever else. 1 goes to 43 equals the total of 44. We're now at that key. We can open up the two sides and add an extension, or bring in a new memory, or whatever it is. So when we do this, we get to the year 5781, but 43 times 47, because that is the number of time, 43 times 47 equals to 2021. Isn't that crazy? I hope I'm right. By 43 by 47 is 2021. The difference between this and this is 60. The difference between this and this is 37, 3760, 3,760. Divide 3,760 by 80, and you will get 47. Do it differently. Why don't we take 33 and multiply by 47? We'll get 1551. But that's not what we're looking at now. And 1551 will get you 1776. 43 and time is 2021, but we're in 2014. But don't forget, with a horse, if you're born 3 months before, you're now 1 year old if you're born within a certain time of the next year. And you don't change. The first 13 months are in the same year. Has to do something to do with how horse age is calculated. Okay. At the same time, we had 43 times 47, which is the number of time. 4 by 7 is 28, which is the number connecting to the moon, in which 19 was don't throw the beer bottle in, because the big bad bear is the one upstairs telling us what the imperialists should do. Because everybody knows imperial makes imposter. It makes impatient. There's nothing that's good. Per capita, the initial of the special of anything of denial. You put anything in there. Don't forget, I went fishing with rod, so I know lightning bolt. Okay? We caught 1 branch, 1 clam, 2 hooks, 1 sinker, 2 fishing lines, and we were at Shoot Will Sin. We didn't shoot anybody. But we had a beer. And I said if we leave the beer on point 7, we open up the gateway for the vision. But if we go to point 8, we're now seeing in the 2 worlds. We're a little mixed up. Call us drunk. Call us the tree on the trunk, because we're not sure. Our leaves are in the ground, but we're picking up the 2 worlds. We can't decide, and we can't actually see. 43 times 47 is 2021. This is 7 years before. This is 6 years before. The spirit is 76, and the 2 calendars are always off by a few months between the Israeli calendar and what we call the Gregorian calendar. We can go by multitudes of calendars, but when you come into the playoffs of the Stanley Cup and you're in the finals, there's only 2 teams. So we're going to use those 2 teams, whichever teams they are. And I didn't do anything about New York Rangers and Los Angeles Kings. LAK 1, 2, 1, 2. L is 1, 2. 1, 2, let me see. LA Kings. So it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 9, 1, 4, 7, 1, 9. 121. 11 times 11 is 121. 9, 11. 11, 9. 14 is the crisscross passage, because the center of Rubik's Cube, I always called number 14. It's the cross on the back. The number to the cross is 74. The number to Jesus is 74. The area of the cross, which creates the N and the Z, depending on what you're turning on your Rubik's Cube, whether you're turning it this way or whether you're turning it this way. And don't forget, that's a turnstile that turns 6 all the time, the center of Rubik's Cube. It's an obligation of what moves and what does not move. And this is the one spirit of 9. And we should repeat this until all the numbers repeat. This is one we should start up over here with 9, 1, 7, 4, 1, 9, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. This is 11, 11. I wrote Lakers, did I not? Well, that is wrong. Why did I write the Lakers? Oh, LA Kings. Oh, my God. I thought I wrote Lakers. I wrote LA Kings. 11, 11. The Kings, Los Angeles, 3 and 1. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 and 1 is the AC connection to the 1, 9 to the ground. This 19 will equal to number 7. This becomes the 7th gate. When you create a 19, it creates the 7th gate. And in roulette, it's the only number, and it's the biggest number that has 7 numbers in between that's created with a red 1 and a red 9. Tell me any number in roulette, there's no other combination but this combination. And we always have to know that the only way we got to R in an equation I did not finish yet, okay, is that the R supports the S and supports the A, spirit angel, inside of it, creating the R as the 18th letter to become the 19th letter. 19 and 19 is 38. And then we can work on the reason for 38, which is church, 1776. 38 becomes the 24 Stanley Cups of hockey, because 8 by 3 is 24 of the man of day. 8 plus 3 is the 11 for the 11 of man into the 9 world, and 11 and 24 equals 35. That becomes electric company, and that's what I want to talk about next. Hydroelectric electric company. When I spoke about these 2 letters as 70 in Kansas City, cutting off the two highways. We also have to understand that cutting off this highway and over here, do you know where this goes from Kansas City? That's right, goes all the way down to Texas. All the way down to Texas. Go see where those highways go to. Okay, that's the drive highway. It also creates, look, D, R in the same letter. The R is in the I family. This is a V upside down. It's the drive family. The bear got 19 on a sign that says, do not bring bottles. And then there was a 6 for the dog. 25 totals Jack. Beer belly, fat ass dog walking in the woods. Where the sun don't shine, he always leaves his name. We were talking about these numbers over here, where 43 is the end cycle. 43 by 47 equals 2021. Take off 7 years. For the 7th gate, we no longer need the 7th gate. The 7th gate came when we needed it. If we don't need it, we only need 6. We don't need to open any gates. But you know what happens when you close the 7th gate? You don't retain 6, you retain 4. Why do you retain 4? Because you come into this world through the 7th gate and hole number 6. Otherwise, you come into the world through number 5 at door number 4. The D letter and the F letter, DEF, reversed as the Federation. Don't forget, when you're in 2 worlds, 0.8 alcohol, you are a junk. DK. 411 is a highway security code. Okay, we need a tow truck. Someone's on the run. Detention, Delta Angel, Dalit in Hebrew. Okay, could be something to do with the neuron. Another thing I wanted to show is something I designed today. I'm not sure where I designed it. Let me see. Let me see. I was doing my hand, right? And I was using my fishing rod, so I couldn't do here. So I had a... Did I have a little space? Yeah, here. Here. Well, how come it doesn't show it? Oh, there it is. Why is it not showing it? There it is. It says cast. Now we got to the word cast, and sorry for showing my skin so long, but inside the word cast is AST for asterisk, okay? Just like EXP for expression, EXP for experience, we have AST. Let's not go to Tasmanian Devil and get into a situation I'm not ready to finish right now. But I will show you something. I saw a plant holder with a thing like this out of the ground, then like this, and holding the cherry. Do you know what else I saw today? It was really, really, really weird. I saw something that showed me why we need the G, how the G is made. Okay, and I'm not sure where I wrote it down. Somewhere. But can you give me 1 second? Oh, yes, the other thing. You see that T over here? See that T over here? See that T over here? Oh, no, the T over here. I'm sorry. You see the T over here? This T. Okay, you see this T over here? Look at that T. Why don't we just do this? You see that? That looks like an X. That looks like a T, right? But now when we go to the next one looks like an X, and then it looks like a T. Ah, if I'm on the wrong angle, the 2 O's will come together and look like 1 O. The T that was once a T in foot will now look like an X, and I'll have a fox instead of a foot. But there was one other thing that I was designing today, and here it is. The G letter. And I couldn't believe it's the first time. You know, sometimes you see the G letter opened up in the back here where you plug your matrix. But the G letter goes all the way around and then to here. Because that's your jaw. This is the top of your head, your cranium, and this is your jaw. And your tongue inside here, the back thing for the tongue, the G makes your jaw, your head and your jaw. I mean, that's what it is for me now. I mean, that's what I'm going to start thinking, okay? Part of the cage, the cranium. Oh, my God. Did you see this little thing I made? Although it's irrelevant, everybody does know. See that? This is sigma in Greek. You can do a multitude of things with this, but you see these two here? It's a talus in Hebrew. It goes from one end of the world to the other end and around your neck. And as long as you know you got the 2 ends, you don't need the gap. You fill the gap. Your gap of the universe is filled with the way you think, with how you think. Your process of thinking will fill the gap to make the gap full, as if everything, the objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. That's what will fill the gap. We all like. Which one do we like? 808? 808 or 808? Which what are we actually looking at? Because you see here, if I just look, you don't have to do much to a gap to change a gap to the actual meaning of what the gap can be. What's inside the gap? Kitchen table. See the way it looks like it goes all the way out? See the way it's going all the way out? The illusion of the game we're in. I looked at the moon last night, and I looked again at the moon, and I took off my glasses, and I put on my glasses, and I took off my glasses, and I put on my glasses, and I took off my glasses, and then I says, okay, something's wrong. And I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought. And I thought, and I thought, and I said, maybe it's my question. And I said, yes. I look at the moon without my glasses, it's white. I put it with my glasses, it's orange. What do you want to do? I want to believe that my glasses that are orange are blocking out our sun ray that we are seeing that blocks our actual vision of the reality of the color of things we see. So therefore, for me, these glasses may make the moon orange, but maybe that moon is a complete different color that we don't even know how to see it yet. One of our pairs of glasses that we will, one of our pairs of glasses, okay, one of our pairs of glasses and colors, one day we will be able to see the truth. Which pair will it be? Who will actually say it? It will not be a genius, that's for sure. It'll be just anybody of the billions of people that are on earth will all have the chance to see and mention the reality. Maybe it's only in their own head, but the reality will be there. And it'll be truth. And it'll be their truth, but it might be the reality of all truth. We brought the fishing rod, we caught the branch and the clam. We were down at Wilson Falls. We went down to the fishing hole. Okay, we had the reel and the rod. The BAIR was barely. Don't forget, when I was mentioning AR before, okay, what happens is the P letter might actually be the last letter in the alphabet because the Q letter actually looks like a big zero or an oval zero. So if actually the P letter, which looks like an R, in all actuality, the O letter, which is before the P letter, we put it after the P letter. We take a bar, okay, which is the I, and we turn it on an angle, and we take that, okay, and we shove it up against the P. And then we have the R. We take that O, which is actually the front part of where the 1 is, because the 1 O is actually the 2 letters that it takes to create the P. You take the line that's on the P, that is now the line which creates the R, and you shove that in the middle of the O, and it creates the Q. So let's look, okay? And we can have many ways to look at this, okay? This is what we got. The last letter in the alphabet is this. Well, this and this have to create it, right? This is on top of this, or this is a C. But if we took the O as the 15th letter, and we shoved inside of it 1/2 of the A, which is part of the I, into the O, it becomes the Q. If we take this and we put it on the P, it becomes the R. So the P is actually a full creation of the R. P brings you into the light and gives you all the points in football. 6, 1, 3, and 2. This is could be number 1, falls with D. The first letter is 1 and D equals to 5. But D is the 4th letter, but the way you create it and build it, it's called a Q. They put a D as an association for the queen. Inside cards, inside the dam, which is the 12th letter. All of a sudden, 1 is 12. All of a sudden, 1 is 12 because of the way it's put together. When you draw the R, you cause a king. That becomes the 13th letter in the alphabet. It becomes 13 and 18 as initials. RDP, RDQ. Anyways, what else do we have? Something else that I missed in time. If you take, okay, there's numbers in here that connect to the Maya, and I don't know what they are at the present moment, okay? But ABC is 123 by 47 is 5781. 5781 Take away 3,760. That would be 2,014 years ago. That's when Jesus was born, 2014, where the calendar started. This is the time right here at the edge of these numbers. Why number 43? Why do we have to go to 44? Because in Monopoly, 4 and 4 is 8. And that's the beginning of the Monopoly board. Once you pass 7, you get into the two worlds of the 7th gate. Otherwise, 44, once around the Monopoly board, starting at go, only brings you out to the 44th, is the same way we started and where we're actually right now. The 4th property in Monopoly is Baltic. And when you go around again, you land on Baltic again. 44 and 4 is 48. The 48 football, 4 by 8, 4 plus 8 is 32. Backdoor entry and 12. The ruler. But if you go the other way around, Avenue, 1225, 25 Jack, 22 Life, 21 Cube, 52 Earth, 25 Jack, 225, 15 by 15, 0 times 16, 512 memory. You come to Baltic or Park Place, if I remember correctly. Park Place is the 37th area. You want to play the game before anything adds up? Roulette is 1 to 36. Open up the 7th gate, which is off the board. You know why? The 7th gateway are the chips you bet. The chips you bet in the game on the 7th gateway brings you to the 7th gate, which becomes number 44, because now you took up 1 space. Number 44 takes up 1 space, and you get 35 to 1 odds. Electric company with 1 spirit coming into this equals to a difference of 8, and that would be the difference when you play pool. When you come back over here, Park Place is number 37. So is Nibiru, number 37. And the price of this, if I remember correctly, is $350. It is the gateway of 3, 5, and 6. When I mentioned before in numbers, and I came up with, I'm not sure which number, and I did not finish Los Angeles Kings yet. I did not finish Los Angeles Kings. Maybe I'll come back to it in this video, maybe not. But let me continue. This Park Place is 37. This is 1 and 36. 1 and 36 equals to 37, and that's where you get the 37 numbers that are in the single digit of roulette, in which a single digit, I'm assuming you're talking about one-way world, okay? Or you might be talking about Luna, how Luna's communication comes in. Your number here is 356, the calling of the wolves. 171 is the gateway. 3 by 50 is 150. 3 by 6 is 18. 3 by 50 is 150, and 18 is 178. No, that is the queen. That is your head. That is your skull, okay? 11, 14, 192. 192 is the, I think it's the passage of the pineal gland inside the heartway of who you are, either the heart here or the mind heart, which, however that works. There's a, how can I explain it? 3 by 6 is 18, 9, again, and 9 and 14 is 23 creation. How do I explain it? That connects maybe the two worlds up, the twist tie. You know, 2 ends in a row look like an S, right? And then it looks like a pin for, I don't know, hanging up clothes. So we came into this. We had 1 to 37, 73, 37. This is the creation of the gateway. This is Gimel. This is creation man Gimel. 7 is the gate for Gimel. We have to look, the Zion is the 7th gate of Zimmel. There's another Zion that I found here. Imperial. I found a Zion somewhere. I may have wrote it on my hand. There's a word I saw today that said Zion in it. Let me look for a second. Let me look for a second. Oh, it might be in my other book. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. That way it won't be a waste of time. I'm looking for the word Z-I-E-N. Cranium, skull, the G, the jag, the tongue, cinnamon stick, sit on him. Oh, hell's angels. Freeze in hell, burn in hell. Okay, it says her. It's saying this planet here, this planet here. May you freeze in your thoughts. Okay, but oh yes, look at this word over here. Sit on him. It, ton, tone, sitonum. Sitonum. What does it mean? Sitonum. Sitonum. Shun. SIONTION. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Needles. Wow, I don't find it. Braille, the Tin Man. My son was telling me that everything comes from Latin. Okay, if everything comes from Latin, then I'll say the passage, okay, or the loop comes from Latin. Then there's a space to the bottom of the needle, the extension that we only need for the distance connecting the two sides, because we only need the point of the needle. So the point of the needle would be the English, okay, and somehow the French have to be at the top in the Latin, because the French and the English have to be two ends of a stick. We feel a formation. So I cannot find this word in here. I'll turn to this page here. Then I'll look for the page that I wrote on today. Copper, melatonin, Maldec. Okay, here's the other page. Birth, barely, bottles. I still don't see the word, and you're sitting with me another couple of minutes, right? No, I don't see it, but there was definitely a word that I saw that said Zion, man from Zion. It was right in another word. Wow, I'm really. So we're gonna end this right now. And thank you for watching this video, and I'll put it in another video if I find that word Zion inside that word. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Am I doing this for me? Yes. Is there anybody out there? Hello? I have no idea. Sometimes I don't even want to go see how many people watch. I have to just keep my confidence and know I'm all alone forever. That whatever I do will always be gone against me for whatever my decision is, and I will pay for it without anybody being on the island myself. I am sharing because there's a possibility out there that somebody wants to hear what they didn't hear before, that they thought of, but they never thought it was so good or so real until somebody else spoke of it because they were too shy. But I'm not shy, and I don't care. The only thing I do care about is that I just want to care about sharing, that everybody should know that wants to know. You want to see what my cats are doing right now? Look at the way this cat sleeps. Hold on, I'm going to show you something. He's in a box. He's in a box that he doesn't fit in. Look, he's in a box that he doesn't fit in. He doesn't fit in the box. And he went over the box to sleep with her sister. They're two sisters. Is that not? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, they're a little. I mean, isn't that? Just look at that. The tail is coming out the back end. Raphael 7286 in constellation of Pegasus. Oh, I can take pictures.